Mushoku Tensei Season 1 was filled with beautiful animation, horny characters, insane fights, really horny characters, actual character development, and then holy shit, why did they have this scene level of horny? And then Mushoku Tensei Season 2 was like, yeah, we're just gonna get rid of all that and instead tell the origin story of Viagra in anime. And now the second half of Season 2 has been like,
time is a precious commodity that every one of us takes for granted. Time.
Now, anyone that consumes anime content or is in the anime world or is on the Fortnite subreddit knows about everyone's obsession with Frieren. Between weird art, really weird art, feet pics, and then Himmel for some reason, amongst even more feet pics. Between all that degeneracy, everyone has heard how Frieren took over Full Metal Alchemist and it's the greatest anime ever, yada 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 yada. But anime YouTube for Frieren has been filled with people talking about time, this time, that. It's time for you to get some bitches on your dick. The only thing we have is time. Times we haven't understand the times we're with time, time. Now, obviously, you can't make a video about Frieren without talking about it in some regard. Let's be honest, though. The YouTube videos got really generic, and we heard the same song thousands of times. But Frieren did have a really good message of helping viewers understand that without death, nothing is valuable, but also need to take a step back and appreciate the now. So what does that have to do with Mushoku Tensei Season 2 Part 2 that I'm just going to refer to as Season 3 because it's a lot less annoying? I think, yes, me, it's Quiche with a Z, feels Mushoku Tensei Season 2 Part 2 Season 3 uses time better than Frieren.
What the fuck are you talking about?
So here's a quick synopsis on Mushoku Tensei if you want a 15-second explanation of why people care about the show at all. It's the only good isekai that's ever come out, but the only thing it does different from normal isekais is it takes all the ideas from the genre and actually makes them interesting and doesn't disregard them and puts effort into making every aspect of the show stand out and be appreciated. And in terms of the story, Rudeus has been reborn into another world where he has an affinity for magic until he's teleported away from his family, which leads him to grow and survive for a few years on his own until he found a girl that made him girl crazy, who then left him, causing him to have ED until he locked himself away in the Harvard of the magic world until he found his old childhood friend that somehow fixes ED, so he decided to then marry her. And now we're in Mushoku Tensei Season 3, where it does time better than Frieren. And man, I already feel the comments getting pissed off, like, how could you say something as trash as Isekai does time better than Frieren? Which, for the record, Frieren does share all the same themes as Isekai, but you didn't hear that from me. So time in a literal sense has always been a massive part of Mushoku Tensei, and it's pretty much the key for how the plot moves and every character makes their decisions. In Season 1, it was used as a measure of how fast Rudeus was growing in terms of magic, and the distance it would take him to get to the capital, and the time away from Sophie and his family. And when he gets teleported away, they're aware that they are literally a year's worth of travel away from getting home. There was no rush at all, and they could focus on themselves in terms of surviving on their own, and this leads to both Rudeus and Eris to be completely different people when they come back, and no moment in Season 1 encapsulates that time aspect better than when you meet back up with Paul and see that his life has gone to shit, and how much Norn has grown since Season 1, and in Season 2 Part 1, it's used again as an avenue to show how Rudeus' life went to shit after Eris left him, and the fact that he's wandering around the world by himself with nowhere to go and so far from everyone that he is completely and utterly alone. But then you meet a batshit crazy character that makes Rudeus' issues look... alright, I was gonna say look small, but look, I'm a dude. You may be a dude listening to this. You may not be a dude listening to this, but you gotta understand on a male-to-male level, human to human, dude to dude, degenerate to degenerate level, that Rudeus had a real, serious dilemma. That is a code red situation by all accounts. The most pressing issue on his mind should have been fixing his issue, and it was. So let's just say this character that I'm about to talk about just took the time part of Mushoku Tensei to another level. And actually, hold on, what's her name? I usually just think of her as a character that yells a lot. Yes, Nanahoshi? Nanahoshi?
Nanahoshi Shizuka. 日本人よ。その魔法陣。
Okay, so Nananoshi's relationship with time is a quintillion times more significant than Rudeus' relationship with time. Rudeus appreciates his time away from his past life, feels like he's correcting his wrongs and growing as a human, with 2 moments in the beginning and current part of the series that make that overly clear. Situation 1, when he steps outside the walls for the first time with Roxy and is no longer scared of strangers and he's overcome all that bullying that he went through. And then situation 2, when he helps out Norn and doesn't give up on her like when his brother gave up on him. Was I the only one that didn't even remember he had a brother? Maybe they never mentioned it, but that was pretty crazy. And that was a real wholesome episode, by the way, and I feel like a certain someone is really gonna appreciate those narrative beats, like the narrative beat of this moment where you can leave a like on this video so I can upload more. Please leave a like on this video. I'm just a loser on a microphone right now. Anyways, Nanahoshi, how could I forget about the plot device of this YouTube video that's gonna help me take down the big bad Frieren? What if I told you Nanahoshi is also an isekai protagonist? Not literally, but she could literally be the protagonist if she wanted to, if the mangaka literally wanted to make more money. But Nanahoshi is also from real Japan, and she presumably fell victim to truck dono just like Rudeus, except unlike Rudeus, who feels like he got a second chance at life, she had a really good life in Japan and is leaving people behind that she cares about. And this whole time, presumably 16 years later, she's been stuck in a fantasy world, and it's been like a prison, making her go crazy and work tirelessly every day to break free and return home, which did effectively lead to her nuking the whole world and displacing everyone and everything, but it was accidental, so yeah. But Nanahoshi is a character that the mangaka and directors aren't scared to use it to bring in real serious adult themes into the story, and she is someone that when you insert yourself into her shoes, you remember that time has a much bigger aspect to play in our lives than it may seem, and it can be weaponized in some regard as a place of fear and something that can hold you down more than anything, whether you're someone that is stuck to a job, stuck to a location, stuck to a school, stuck to a major. You realize that time is something that anchors us down and it feels permanent in the short term. Her whole life has been ruined in her eyes when you actually consider the fact that it has been 16 full years, 5,844 days, 140,256 hours of her life. She has been wanting to go home, and you feel that when she's going crazy. And although her character isn't at the forefront of the drama, quite the opposite, she's tucked away at the top of some spire like some Disney princess, but it serves as an additional level of tension in the story that just because we're in this world of magic and elves, it's not all good. And also, they were clearly in modern Japan before, so that means no phones, no games, no internet, and they just like went on with it. I mean, I guess magic is pretty cool and elves are pretty cool, but at some point you're gonna be wanting to check Twitter, you know what I'm saying, or check Reddit, or you know, check some other stuff on Google. But as seen with Nanahoshi, the use of time can remind the reader that there's actual stakes to the story, which isn't common for anime. Most of the time in anime, when stakes are created, it's in terms of a character is going to die, or this organization is going to take over the world, or this disease is going to end everything. But the reality of time is used in a lot more toned down way, but it still has the same impact of building up stakes, just like all those other methods do. Time is used in season 3 and is actually used via Zenith to build up the story and build up the anticipation of what the characters are going to do. Now remember what I said about 5 seconds ago about how stakes are typically built up in anime in terms of characters being about to die? Zenith is about to die, and in this situation stakes are built up in the same way as other anime, except you sprinkle in Mushoku Tensei's use of time here and there, and everything gets a whole lot more rowdy, a whole lot more interesting in ways that Frieren can't just dance on it. Look, I don't get that joke I just said about Frieren and Just Dance. I don't know. But can we just go with it? In storytelling, whether it's a YouTube video, movie, TV, book, or brain rot, one of the most fascinating things that drives a character and a viewer to the point of the utmost anticipation is choice. To save one means leaving another, kill one person or kill 4. These situations fire off neurons in our brain that make us feel compelled to train our eyes to the screen. And in this situation, Rudeus is the character being put through the ringer. Before this moment of time, he has chosen to not look for his mother and continue growing on his own while his father and Roxy looked for Zenith. And they know she is stuck in a labyrinth filled with monsters and has been down there for 6 years, but thought was eventually Paul and Roxy were going to be able to figure it out until Rudeus got a letter saying send help. Now in Rudeus' mind that seems like an obvious decision, but he also found out that his wife Sophie is expecting a child, and the journey is supposed to be 8 months both ways, which means roughly 2 years, except there's another facet to the story in the fact that there is a teleportation circle that would only take them 1 month to get there. But teleportation circles have been proven to be unreliable in terms of time and destination, and then this human god who's all powerful and knows everything pops up into Rudeus' mind and tells him he will regret it forever if he goes to save her. So he decides to stay, but then his sister Norin, who he just rekindled his relationship with, gets mad at him for not going after their mom, which leads us sitting in anticipation because we know the importance of time in this situation in this season and the impact every decision will have. And it's also funny that Zenith is just sitting there, presumably somewhere down there, and she's also probably an entirely different person after being separated from everyone for 6 years at the bottom of a labyrinth. So with all that being said, Rudeus decides to leave and go and save her, to then find out that Roxy has been trapped down there for a month, and it's like, who let her cook? She was supposed to help, and this is just like the scene from the Land of Waves, like, you were the rescue and then you pulled that. And that's the last episode to drop at this point of scripting, so I don't really know what's going to happen from there. But without the element of time, the oomph of these scenes and decisions wouldn't be there, because the consequences are at the forefront of our minds and we know how much the characters have already lost. And I prefer this route to Frieren or even Villain Saga's use of time, because in those stories it's used, but it's in the face of the audience all the time, to the point where you have to be pretty clueless to not understand the deeper meaning of the story and what the author is trying to portray. Whereas in Mushoku Tensei, it's like this dark shadow that looms over every decision and choice that the characters make. So if you enjoyed this video, check out this one on my reaction to Oshinoko in 2024. Leave a like, subscribe, and don't forget, we're just getting started, we're going to stay consistent, and I'll see you in the next video.